As tensions with Iran reach a critical point, Israel's top military leadership has been coordinating closely with Washington. IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir was in the United States over the weekend for high-level talks with American defense officials, just as President Donald Trump confirms he has given Iran a direct deadline to accept a deal or face possible military action. With U.S. naval forces now visibly deployed in the region, a U.S. destroyer is now deployed in the Gulf of Eilat, giving a visible public display that Israel and the U.S. are fully coordinated ahead of potential military action. More from ILTV's Steve Leibowitz.
Speaking at the White House, Trump said the deadline was communicated straight to Tehran, adding only they know for sure. Trump did not say when time runs out.
Are you giving Iran any kind of deadline to make a deal before potentially taking
only they
action?
know for sure.
Have you communicated that to them directly?
Yeah, I have.
Later, speaking on Air Force One, Trump reiterated that the United States has dispatched significant military assets to the region, but also said Iran is seriously talking with Washington on a deal that would see it give up nuclear weapons. American military pressure is visibly building in a sign of close cooperation between the IDF and the Central Command. A U.S.-guided missile destroyer has now reached the southern Israeli port of Eilat as additional naval and air assets move into the region, a signal that Washington is positioning for rapid action if talks collapse. Trump said U.S. forces would remain in place, declaring they have to float someplace. They might as well float near Iran.
We have a large armada, flotilla, you can call it whatever you want, heading toward Iran right now, even larger than what we had in Venezuela. It's still in front of Venezuela. The Venezuelan situation, the leadership is doing a very good job. We're very happy, and we're getting along very, very well. We'll see how it all works out. You know, they have to float someplace. They might as well float near Iran, but it's a rough situation going on.
Iran, for its part, is trying to balance defiance with diplomacy. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Tehran is ready for talks, but only, quote, on equal footing and with mutual respect. Top security official Ali Larijani says a framework for negotiations with the United States is now taking shape. Iran's army chief said he's ready to defend the Islamic Republic against U.S. attack. Meanwhile, Iranian media report 6 people killed in separate explosions in southern and southwestern Iran, including the strategic port city of Bandar Abbas and the city of Ahvaz near the Iraqi border. Iran says the incidents were caused by a gas leaks, denying any attack, and an Israeli official said Israel is not aware of any connection. All this comes amid Iran's ongoing crackdown on protesters and a standoff many fear is entering its most dangerous phase yet. And Trump says there is a deadline.
And satellite images reveal Iran is actively working to salvage nuclear materials from sites damaged in last year's Israeli and U.S. strikes. Imagery from Planet Labs shows new roofs built over destroyed structures at the Natanz and Isfahan nuclear facilities, the first significant activity there since the 12-day war with Iran last June. Experts say the roofs are not part of reconstruction, but a deliberate effort to block satellite surveillance while Iran assesses whether critical assets, including stocks of highly enriched uranium, survived the attacks. Iran has barred International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors from the sites, leaving satellite imagery as the only way to monitor activity on the ground. Tehran has not commented on this. Analysts warn the move suggests a covert recovery operation, not transparency, as Iran also continues digging near Natanz and rebuilding sensitive military and missile-related facilities elsewhere. Now, with U.S. warships moving toward Iran and President Trump openly warning of military action, but also making a reference to a possible deal, questions are growing over whether diplomacy still has a chance. Joining us now to break this down is Dr. Mordechai Kedar, Middle East expert from Bar-Ilan University. Thank you for joining.
Pleasure.
So President Trump publicly commented about giving Iran a deadline to strike a deal, while also moving a large armada of U.S. warships toward the region. What kind of deal are we talking about here? Is it only about nuclear enrichment, or are there other elements on the table? What do you think?
Well, history shows that the Iranians are abiding to demands which come upon them from other countries only when they feel a credible threat. Only then they succumb to the demands of countries like the United States of America. And apparently what Trump is building here is a credible threat. Means a threat if you guys, means Iranians, if you don't do what I tell you to do, you will suffer tremendously. And he is preparing this suffering. So there is a chance that they will succumb, they will give up on the nuclear program, or at least they will agree to freeze it. They might even free political prisoners, means those kids who were caught and arrested during the riots like in the last month. And definitely they will try to buy time in order to bring Trump to the midterm elections in November, when he cannot start a war because he will lose the majority in the Congress or in the Senate as well. So this is what they will try, as always, to buy time and to gain whatever they need by buying time.
Now, would you say Israel and the United States are aligned on Iran? Meaning, is there a deal that would be acceptable to the U.S. but not to Israel?
Of course. If the United States comes to a deal with the Iranian regime, and the Iranian regime remains as the ruling elite of Iran, this is something which Israel might not tolerate, because the problem is not only their missile program and the nuclear program. The problem is the regime, because this regime will always try to get nuclear weapons. This regime will always try to renew its arsenal of missiles. And if it will not be in Trump's time, it will be in his successor time. And they have patience. In the Quran, there is a verse which says that Allah is with those who have patience. And they have a lot of patience, those Shia. They waited to the returning of the Shia to the government more than 1,000 years, since the 7th century. So, yes, their terms of time are totally different from the Western culture. They can wait for 20 years, 100 years. It's okay, they can wait. They ain't going anywhere. And this is their mindset, which the world unfortunately doesn't understand. They have to be kicked out totally. They have to be chased out until the end of the mullahs from Iran. Maybe bring back Reza Shah from the United States or somebody else. Dismantle Iran to ethnic states like a Kurdish states and the Azerbaijani state. Maybe they will join Azerbaijan, which once was under the Soviet Union. Turkmenistan or Turkmen state, Baluchi state, and the Arab state in the Ahwaz. And these are the ethnicities which Iran is comprised of. And this is the only solution which will bring some peace to these regions of Iran.
Now, how do you assess Iran's internal stability right now, following all the protests and the extremely aggressive crackdown and the killings?
Well, as long as the regime is there, they will continue to butcher their people, because they don't care about anyone in the people, especially those who are running in the streets demanding the removal of the regime. So if the world tolerates it, let the world bear consequences, because if they don't care about their own citizens, they don't care about anybody else. Because why should they care for others if they don't care for their own citizens? They might, in order to convince Britain to do all kinds of things, they might threaten Britain that they will send some missiles towards London. And what will London do? And they might threat France and other countries as well. And missiles are not, and nuclear weapons are not only the problem of Israel.
Dr. Mordechai Kedar, thank you very much.
Your pleasure.